Welcome to Daybreak. I'm Joe Young, manager for the Village of Oxford. This is Deb Uren, president of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce, and we're here today to keep you up to date what's going on in our Oxford community, all the events and activities and things coming in the future. So, Deb, you want to tell us a little bit about our biggie weekend we had this past week?
Absolutely. Boy, Lone Ranger Parade and Lone Ranger Festival.
Yeah.
What a turnout we had. The
Yes,
parade was 77 units that took place, starting with, we had a little bit of a snafu. So the car show that was coming in from Lake Orion actually started off the parade for us.
The M1 group from 24th Street Tavern
Yes.
came in,
So they came in, and then the parade actually started. We had the Wells Fargo coach. We had the Cowboys from the Lapeer County Sportsman Club.
Oh, yes.
And I spoke with a couple of those gentlemen last night, and they are so looking forward to that again next year. They're talking to another club, the Wolverine Rangers, so that we might even have two groups of Cowboys next year, so that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we had the largest crowd ever, our third year of the parade.
Third year.
Festival, and we definitely had more people.
Oh my gosh, when I came into town, because the chamber was part of the staging for the parade.
Right.
So when the Lone Ranger and Tonto were finally in number 77 spot, I was walking on the sidewalk and just coming into town and seeing the groups of people, I mean, it just got larger and larger and wider, and everybody was so receptive. And hearing people that came from, as far as Toledo, we had them from up north, Upper Peninsula. I mean, people came from all over, and that's really sweet. Such a nice theme.
Yeah, it was a great theme. Brotherhood was our theme this year, and it was a great day with the humidity low and the nice breeze. And
weather could not have been any more perfect. And then with the festival that took place, we had so many events that were in town that kept the people in town. I mean, Kids Town alone. They had the llama rides, they had the climbing wall, the inflatable maze. Then there was that pie eating contest.
Yeah, I didn't hear how that went.
Somehow I missed out on that one. That would have been a lot of fun to watch.
Yep. Yes.
The ice cream social that the church always has. I mean, that was big, very big.
Yep.
And then they had that little train. Train that the kids could ride in. I mean, that was something new this year for them. And entertainment. Oh my goodness. We had the 5th Regiment Band along with Third Degree Burns. If you have not, I mean, those kids are phenomenal. And nobody is older. I mean, once you're a senior in high school, that's your last year of being able to play.
Oh, wow.
And Gary Burns, I mean, he has 3 different groups, and those kids, they could have played all day. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed them. So, and then getting back to the parade, we had our the two high schools. We had the Oxford High School Band, and then we had the Lake Orion High School Band, the 9 big heads that came in this year.
And besides Lone Ranger and Tonto heroes, we had a couple other heroes.
We sure did. We had those superheroes.
Superman and Captain America and Batman.
Yes.
And those were big hits for the kids, too.
The kids loved it. And the young fellas that were in costume for that, I mean, they were getting pulled to have pictures taken with the young kids.
And we had a lot of vendors, quality vendors. Lisa Renault, who was the event coordinator, did a great job with the vendors in the event. And we do have a letter here that to the editor that Rod Charles, who was heading up the parade committee, that might be good to share with everyone.
Yeah, that was in the Oxford Leader, and if I could, I would like to read it. It's final thoughts from the Oxford Parade Posse. Saturday was a wonderful event for our entire Oxford community. Thousands of people lined the streets to see an awesome parade and have fun at the Lone Ranger Festival. There were people from all over Michigan and other states in attendance. Each one of us can be proud. Our fantastic parade did not happen by itself. Unpaid volunteers diligently worked for months to put together a spectacular parade. Comments like, "Best parade I have ever seen." "My kids were so excited to see the superheroes," and the music was great. It was nice to see the growing enthusiasm of the Oxford business community for the Lone Ranger theme. Among others, Mike Phipps, co-owner of the Oxford Tap, was a standout in supporting the event. Mark your calendars for next year, Kemosabe. We look forward to continuing the tradition. Rod Charles and the Parade Posse. What a nice way to present, putting everybody into his thoughts there. And really, it was a big community event.
Yes, it was. It was great. So we had our recap meeting. We're looking to make some improvements for next year, make it bigger and better every year. So we'll keep in touch on that. If you're interested in being in the parade or being a vendor and part, let us know. Give us a call. Stop in. We're starting to take applications already. So.
Already, yep, that's right. So either come into the village, get in touch with Rod Charles, stop into the chamber. We're all working on this together, and we would love to make it bigger and better, and each year it has grown, so I can't even imagine what next year is going to be in store for us here.
Right.
So, and thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yes,
I mean, we had a number of sponsors, and we certainly appreciate their support.
We have Genesis Credit Union and Oxford Bank were among them. We had the Oxford Leader, of course, McDonald's, Foster Swift, McLaren, Nickel and Saf, Merrill Lynch, Renewal by Anderson, Nowak and Frost, Detroit Edison, Oakland County Credit Union, Meyer of Oxford, HealthQuest, Burdick Street Landscape, Mike Spiz, our county commissioner, and Republic Services, and Boulder Point amongst them. So we want to thank them all, especially for their support. And again, all the volunteers who helped us was tremendous, and it wouldn't happen without that help.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, speaking of events still going on, we still have our concerts in the park.
Yes, we
Every
do.
Thursday now. We got 3 sessions left for August, and that wraps up our season. We got on the 13th, we have Ruby T and Valentine Band. They're a local band, play country and folk. They're on the 13th. On the 20th, we have Third Degree Burns.
Yay!
So in case you missed them, they'll be there that 20th. And then on the 27th, the last night, we have Unrivaled, and Zippity Two Dads, a family entertainment variety show. And on those Thursdays, we also have the Farmers Market now in the park with the concert. And we also have Bike Night at the Tap, but with our raffle for the Rotary. But Thursday's a big day yet this summer, and we only got 3 more weeks of summer left, people. So be sure to get downtown and enjoy that time. We also have Vintage in the Park coming on September 12th. That's being sponsored by Salvage Sisters Boutique and Forged by Chic Antiques. They're going to be seeking donations for Fish and Love. They've got over 30 vendors already. It's going to be the Vintage Market in the Park in downtown Oxford on September 12th from 10 to 4. We'll be back with a few minutes with some other updates and activities going on. So we'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
OCTV is our community.
You're watching Oxford Community Television, serving Addison and Oxford Townships, keeping it local.
Hi, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles.
Join Terry and me with the Oxford Weekly News broadcast on our Charter 191 and AT&T Channel 99, Monday through Friday, noon, 6:30, and 11 p.m.
Learn about local news in the Addison Township, Leonard, and Oxford viewing areas. News not usually covered by other stations.
If you don't have Charter or AT&T service, you can still catch our programs on your computer just by going to the website occtv.org and click on Programs. There you will find our programs and many others of local interest.
Watch OCTV where your news is closer to home.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Joe Young with Deb Uren. We were just talking about some activities and events, and the Chamber's got one coming up this month, special one.
Yes, we do. We are having a joint luncheon with the Uren Chamber. They've invited us to pair up with them, and that's going to be on Thursday, September 10th from 11:30 to 1, and it's going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings in Lapeer, right off of M24, North Lapeer Road. They're going to have a guest speaker, Matt Gibb from the Oakland County Deputy Executive. So that's going to be a very interesting topic. I never knew the county could help me like that. So it's going to be very interesting to hear what Matt has to share with us. For our chamber members, the cost will be $20 for the lunch if you register before September 8th. Just go to our website and you can register there. Non-members will be $40 before September 8th and $45 afterwards. Once again, I'm sorry, for the members, it's $20 before September 8th and $25 afterwards. So Buffalo Wild Wings always, they've got some great food up there, so it's always a fun place to have an event.
Out there with the patio overlooking the lake. That's
Exactly,
pretty cool.
yes.
Yeah.
And we had our last mix and mingle out at the Burning Oak, and we were out on the patio for that. And the car show, because we always have the car show on Thursday night also out there at Burning Oak. And we were out there and they had the 50s music playing, 50s and 60s, and all the cars, and it was really a great atmosphere. And there we met one of our newest members for the chamber, Joe Kent, and he's going to be running for state representative. So he made his appearance there, and he was also in the parade.
Yep.
But Joe is really a great guy, very, very nice, easy gentleman to talk with, and very informative. So we've got another mix and mingle coming up at the end of this month. We had Coffee Connect that took place at Northern Flooring in Lake Orion. He had a good turnout. I believe there were like 25 people there, so it was a nice way to get to know new people and share your businesses and everything. So we always have that Coffee Connect the first Tuesday of every month, and we change our venues around. So look forward to our next one coming up. And then I just want to give a little bit of credit to Genesis Credit Union. They received the Economic Bright Spots Award. So when you're in the village, stop in and say hi to Kevin Wisely over at Genesis and give them a big congratulations.
Wow, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So other than that, what are our...
Well, we've got some other events coming up. On September 17th, one item coming up is the National Blessings in a Backpack Day. Across the country, we have a local Blessings in a Backpack group that provides food for children over the weekend. Every week, it's a volunteer group, and they raise money. And I know Greg from Curtis Insurance is involved with helping put that together.
Oh, Greg Clay?
Greg Clay, I'm sorry. A lot of people have been looking for support on that. And I noticed this week in Lead the Fish is providing backpacks with school supplies for the kids as well. So it's that time coming up with school, and it's a great program, the National Blessings in a Backpack, where they provide food weekly over the weekend for the children in need. On September 19th, we've got the Gears and Beers bike ride, the 7th annual one. It's for the Believe in Miracles Foundation, and it starts at noon Saturday, the 19th, yeah, the 19th in the downtown parking lot behind the Historical Museum. It's a route of 30 miles, so for those big-time bike riders. And they're going to be stopping in a couple of different places here, say 50 North Brewing, Rochester Mills, Sagebrush Cantina, and then 24th Street. So again, that's September 19th. On October 10th, we've got our Scarecrow Festival coming up. That's the big event downtown in the Centennial Park with the costume, pet costume, children's costume is going to be at Merge again this year. Merge is being involved. Matter of fact, they're having a big bike ride that morning, a 40-mile dirt bike ride on that morning, and then the Scarecrow Festival in Centennial Park as well as at Merge. So mark that day down, October 10th. There'll be lots of fun things to do and enjoy that day, including trick-or-treating and entertainment and lots of fun things there.
That's a DDA event, correct?
Yep.
The
A
DDA
community event. Everybody participates, but yeah, they're coordinating it.
Excellent, excellent.
And then we've got a special event too. Somebody's anniversary is coming up. Their 18th anniversary is Victoria's Delight or Wine and Dine. Vicki Conley has been here 18 years with her business. She's got a big event coming up in October 23rd. Big dinner event. They've got some wine tasting event out in her Goodison location. She's got 2 locations now. Really 3, because they also have one at the auto dealer Gowling. They've got a delicatessen out there.
Oh, really?
But they've had that for a couple years now. So she's been expanding and growing, but I want to congratulate Vicki on her 18th year. It's one of my favorite restaurants. It's where I met my wife. So very special. But Vicki does a great job with food and her service, and it's just a great time.
She has very unique dishes.
Yes, and they're all very healthy too.
Yes, and healthy.
Including the desserts. She has great desserts. Her famous bread pudding and the chocolate crepes and key lime pie. You can tell I can go through the menu there.
You can
See
give
what's
the
going
full
on.
menu to us, huh?
We also have coming up Girlfriends Walk, and that's going to be, I think, the third week in October on a
We'll have
Wednesday.
to find out the date. We're not
Yeah, and
too
I think
sure
they
about
were
that.
talking about doing a chocolate event activity as part of that, I think. But we'll get more information for you on that. But we got things coming up yet this month, and then in September and October. So the summer is quickly going past us here. So we've got a couple other things we wanted to share with you about businesses coming into town. Lori's Pet Paradise, as we told you before, is looking to move into next to the Salvage Sisters, where Ella used to be, and then the photographer was there. We also have Heavenly Paws is looking to move in behind 125 South Washington, the White House Village Shops. That's coming.
That should just about complete everything up in the White House Villages, shouldn't it?
Well, then there's one vacant parcel in the back that he might do something with. Chuck
Then we
Snyder's
need somebody
development.
back there.
So he might be doing something different with that. Might do residential maybe even.
Okay.
So we got lots of great things going.
Well,
Anything you wanna
and
talk about?
Sue Oles, if you were in town for the
yes.
parade and the
Right.
festival on Saturday, she had her opening, her first day of Tots to Tweens. So, you know,
Right.
she's got her Boulevard Boutique, and right
Next
next
door.
door now, she has Tots to Tweens. So stop in and say hi. Barb's going
Right.
to be in there kind of managing the store. Barbara's back. And she's
yes.
going to be back there managing the store, and Sue is just keeping herself busy between these two shops. But I'll tell you, Boulevard Boutique has been doing extremely well. The people come from all over, Rochester, Birmingham, Bloomfield. I mean, they are from all over stopping in there. So the shops that we're bringing into town, and I saw the brewery sign. That's
Then
up
we got
as well.
2 of those coming. The Falling Down Brewery is going to be at I think 10 or 14 South Washington. And 2 doors down, we got Homegrown Brewing Company coming in, and we'll talk a little more about that.
Yeah, when we come back.
One real quick thing, we also have some new businesses coming at the marketplace set up. There's a couple new businesses coming. We also have Villa de Gucci is going to be moving across the street. So they submitted plans for that. So they'll be relocating to a new facility there soon too. So
Good for Desiree.
So we'll come back for our final session and let you know some of the things going on here in our Oxford area.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your local business.
Your police department.
Your local business.
Your Village of Oxford.
The schools. Your parks and recreation.
Your community.
Your community.
Only on OC TV.
Woke up and for the first time, the animals were gone. Our clocks are ticking now, so before our time is gone, I cover my eyes, still all I see is you.
Good.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Joe Young, Debbie Uren, the Chamber. We were talking about some businesses coming into town, and the leader this week had an article about the Homegrown Brewing Company, and here's what they got their business plan put together, and they submitted the concept to the village this past week. And it's going to be exciting. They're a local family business. It's Mr. Powers has been doing this for a hobby for many years, is beer, and I guess they're also going to be looking at possibly some wine too.
Oh my.
But they got nice layout here. I can see on this picture, I can show you real quick. This is a concept plan of what it would look like inside, with the fermenters and microbreweries in the back that would be behind glass so you can see it and yet be safe. And they're also planning to have outdoor cafe, which will be very attractive, and maybe they'll want to try to keep it open all year round. But here's a little layout of how that might look.
And that's a fire pit there
yeah,
as well.
right. Yep. So be a very nice addition to that quadrant. And like I said, they're going to have 2 microbreweries there. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. We did try to put the 2 of them together when they originally came to us, but they each felt that they have something different and unique to offer. So the Homegrown will be having food restaurants. So it'll be our 13th restaurant in the downtown area.
Wow.
And eventually, Falling Down Brewery is planning to have food as well. So we'll have our 14th food establishment, not counting Sweet and Savory as one, but they also have food there too. But anyway, lots of good things happening there. We also have our development with Dave Weckel for the DDA property, where we're proceeding, the DDA is proceeding with a development agreement with him, which will be then presented to the Planning Commission. He's got a site plan laid out for 3 buildings, 2 on East Burdick, right on Mill Street, and one behind off Stanton Street is the plan. He's got tenants already lined up for the 1 building and plans to be under construction this fall and have it ready in the spring.
Boy, I can't wait for that. That'll be
Be exciting time there. We also have proposal we're still working on with Chuck Snyder for 98 Glassby Street for the 76 housing units. We're still working on getting that worked out.
Good.
We also have the village property at 18 and 22 West Burdick that is available. We're looking at possibly renting it out, so if you're looking for some office space, give us a call. We're still working on that and possibly some development there, but
And
we'll
there's
see
a
where
lot
that
of
goes.
space in there.
There's about 2,500 square
That is
feet.
very, really
So we'll
nice
see what
area.
happens with that. So lots of good things happening here in our community with the DDA and the Planning Commission being involved. One thing I mentioned about the Planning Commission, the last time I mentioned about the master plan is coming up. It's every 5 years we have to update it. And that'll be coming forward, and they need a committee of people to help give input and review what we have and look what we might want to do to change and improve what our future vision might be for downtown and our zoning. So if you're interested in being on that committee, being involved in the process, give us a call at 248-628-2543 or stop in the office. But that's going to be a process over the next several months where we'll be looking for what we would want to see happen in our community over the next several years. So that'll be great, along with our Parks and Recreation plan also will be being updated every 5 years too. So
Wow. And they happen at the same time, huh?
Yep, coordinated
Wow.
every 5 years, so do them together. And the master plan for the Parks and Rec is necessary to be done in order to apply for any grants, which we had in the past, so it's something we'll be looking at. But we'll see how that goes. But lots of good things going on in our community. The Village Council meeting is the second Tuesday of every month at 6:30, and welcome everyone to come on down there and see what's going on in the village. As I mentioned, we got some development issues they'll be addressing. We also have our rubbish disposal contracts coming up. Starting in September, a new firm's taking over, Republic Services. Will be taking over and continuing the same services for rubbish collection and yard waste and recycling. So we're excited about that. We also have available a program for a group of organizations approached us about helping rehab some buildings in town for people that are in low income. And if you know of anybody that needs some help with upgrading their home, the exterior or interior, give us a call again at the village. We've got a list put together already, but if you know of someone who could use some help in improving their building and bringing up to their house up to code, just give us a call on that one as well. So we've got good things happening there. Deb, you want to talk about the Chamber's got some new information coming out,
Well,
possibly.
last week we had a gentleman called Larry. His name is Larry Ribbetts, and he's from Keaton Publications, and he has a magazine. It's called Lifestyle Magazine, which Rochester is already for a number of years now have had their magazine. Bloomfield area, Bloomfield, Birmingham, Franklin, Southfield, the Detroit area. And now Lifestyle Magazine is starting with the Uren, Oxford area.
Great.
So Larry came in to talk to both of us and our director, Nicole Sturrett. Uren is already on board, and now Oxford, we're going to be bringing this up at our Oxford board meeting, because this is a magazine that will be used as a visitor's guide, as a relocation guide, and an economic development. It's not only just our two cities, communities that are in here, but there is a lot of information provided in these magazines that will be mailed out to the residents in the community. It would be published twice a year.
Right.
Uren is going to have the first publication, so theirs would go out in December, January of this coming year. And then the Oxford portion would be in the second half of the year, so in June. One thing being that I'm really chamber, the chamber directory is actually going to be a part of it.
Great.
So for the first half with Uren, it would have all of the Uren chamber members. And then also listing all of the Oxford chamber new members. Then in that second magazine that comes out in June, it would have all of our Oxford chamber members along with all of the new Lake Uren members. So this magazine isn't going to be seen by just a small group of people. It's going to be a very large publication and distributed amongst a lot of people. Now, Larry had mentioned to us that a couple of the magazines now have been approved by the governor to be in the welcoming centers all around Michigan. So can you imagine the exposure that we'll have with something like that? It would be a little bit of time yet before our particular magazine would make it in, but the other ones have already made it in. So,
and one of the things that, it says magazine, but really it's a resource guide, because it lists, you mentioned not only the Uren and Oxford area, but it mentions about state and county service available, the churches, all the nonprofit groups and organizations you might need. So it's a really great guide that'll help everyone who lives here now and then people looking to come here as well. So we're excited about having that opportunity. It's something that would be awesome to have here for our area.
And so we can talk about that again at our next
next session.
At our next session, yes.
So we're going to wrap up today our Daybreak, and I want to thank you all for being with us today, and have a great week.
Enjoy.
Right? Thanks, Tim.
Take care.
Thank you.
Get closer.
Have you liked us on Facebook yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Just go to your Facebook page, go to the search bar, and type in Oxford Community Television.